So we can't really go through a show in January without talking about Beats, because everybody's waiting for Beats to launch their new service this month. So we got some more rumors today coming from the New York Post, and they report that Beats is planning a very big marketing push at the launch towards the end of this month. That could include a Superbowl advert. So that's a big investment, because Superbowl advert can cost anywhere between $3 and $5 million for 30 seconds. So it's not a small change, and I think it's probably around about half of the biggest marketing campaign any streaming music service has done so far. So that's an interesting news, and it's also interesting to see that they're going to do a big push at first release, because of course this is a product that hasn't really been released in beta, so it's a product that's coming out to a mass market and has to work right from the get-go. It can't really have any issues from the start, or it can't really have much of a working prototype. It just needs to work when it comes out. The other rumor that came out from the New York Post article is that Beats Music has actually managed to do a deal with the AT&T, the US carrier, the largest US carrier, in order that would actually incorporate Beats Music into its plans and would offer that to its subscribers. So that's a very big move, and it comes in spite of the fact that AT&T actually acquired Move Music, which is another music subscription service, by proxy with its acquisition of Leap Wireless a few months back. And so, first of all, let's talk about the marketing side of things. Do you think it makes sense for Beats Music to spend a lot of money on marketing? And do you think in that sense it may be offset by Beats Audio? Because I would imagine that any advert with Beats Music in will actually also feature Beats Audio headphones, so that advertising might be in a way subsidized by the bigger company, right? Martin, what were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly going to be subsidized by the bigger company. At the end of the day, people seem surprised that Beats have got money. It's like, of course they do. It's the biggest selling headphone in the world.
Yeah.
There's an enormous amount of cash behind this. They've taken on a huge amount of investment, and at the end of the day, they bought Mog, so the backbone of the streaming music service is already there. From an operating cost point of view, I imagine that it would be in the low millions. From that sense, so actually a lot of the investment is really for growth and marketing.
Yeah.
So to drop 4 million, on a Super Bowl advert, and you have as many eyes on as you do, sure, fine. If they want to do that, they can go ahead and do it. Will it have the impact I think that they're hoping they're going to get? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think that the way that they're doing it. Look, reading the article, it was like, okay, so what, Beats Music have got the how to build a streaming music service playbook, and they are opening it at page 1. And doing all the things that every other company has done in the past that have been successful, which is no bad way of approaching running a business. Of course it isn't. Take the ideas that work from other people, copy it, plug it in, change a few things, see what happens. Yeah. Now, they're taking the AT&T partnership directly from what happened with Deezer. Deezer's huge growth in France initially came from their partnership with Orange. And it was a fantastic deal, worked brilliantly, and offering out to a subscriber base for free as part of that package is not only a great way of signing an initial deal that solidifies a huge amount of subscribers that will probably remain loyal throughout their time, because they're not parting with any cash, or at least they don't think they are. And I see that working well for them. I don't see them blowing anyone out of the water, though. At the end of the day, these things take time, and they are significantly behind everybody else in this space. Raises the question of, do we need another streaming music service? Yeah. But that is a very different conversation that we won't have now. What I would say is that if they have somehow managed to implant into every Beats headphone ever sold a tracking device, which means that they can actually then locate every person that owns a pair of Beats headphones and give them a free subscription, then they will blow Spotify out of the water. But unless they can do that, I don't see it happening.
Yeah. Ben, do you think there is a chance that they're going to include a free month or free couple of months subscription with every Beats audio headphone purchase from now on? And will that change things for Beats Music?
Well, yeah, I think that would be a good move, because we're spending so much on marketing, they have to just go at it as hard as they can and get as big as possible, as fast as possible. They're saying they're going to blow Spotify away and stuff. That's really not going to happen unless they've got the brand name, and that's good to just sort of push that out there and stuff. But the problem is just getting people actually using it is, again, if they could track down everyone with the headphones, give them something, or get a free subscription when you buy headphones, that kind of thing would work. But the thing I've noticed about even that and the AT&T partnership is they're just looking at America right now, and while Spotify's looking to grow there, Spotify's also big in Europe and getting bigger elsewhere.
Yeah.
So even if they completely dominate the US market, they could still lag behind someone else. I mean, but they do have to just go for it really, and just get as many people on the system as possible really, and then hope it's a better one. But at the moment, I couldn't see myself using it. But then, what do we need another streaming service is a different question. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, I mean, the only thing I can see from them is the fact that they are acknowledging the fact that streaming hasn't quite yet gone mainstream, and so they're probably trying to target everybody that hasn't got a Spotify subscription already, because I just can't imagine what kind of differentiating factor they can offer to subscribers of Spotify that would induce them to migrate their account to Beats, which would be a pretty painful thing to do if you've been with Spotify for a while. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to see whether they're just aiming at streaming virgins or people that haven't actually put down any money yet for streaming, or whether they're actually going to try and steal some customers away from some of the other streaming companies.
But sorry, in a way, they've already got a kind of a bigger brand name than Spotify. So, I'd put them in a better position than a ridiculously well-funded startup to have a go at knocking some of the big guys out. But the brand name alone's going to have to do a lot of work,
Yeah.
I think it could be possible down the line that Beats roll out a pair of headphones that need to be controlled via an app, and that is a direct connection between their sites. Because the thing is, people really like Beats headphones, and they're very loyal to the brand. And you can see that through the artist partnerships and stuff as well. They definitely have all the right ingredients in place to actually be able to do this and take a big chunk of the market. I just don't see this current offering being as big as they expect it to be.
Yeah, sure. And as I said, the iteration is going to be really interesting just to see if there's going to be some sort of a Twitter music effect, because if they hype the service so much now, if they come out with a service that is not absolutely amazing, it's going to generate some sort of backlash, I think, in the press. And so that's going to be interesting to see how they present it, how it is, and how good it is. And that's really going to make or break it, I think, at least in the initial perceptions of it within the first few weeks of launching.
I think it'll be a decent enough first few weeks. MySpace pumped a heck of a lot of money into their recent relaunch, and the initial users made it look pretty impressive. But you can't live spending $4 million every TV ad or something, So sticking around will be their real job.
Yeah.